You know what's interesting is I didn't really knock Highguard too hard. I wanted to give it a chance and just report honestly on my feelings of the situation from the numbers that I saw happening and the reaction from the community. And ever since Wildlight Entertainment announced that they were doing massive layoffs, cutting down to basically a skeleton crew over there to finish off the season before probably closing the game down for good, we've had some of the people from the studio, like Josh Sobel, who I don't even know who this is, but I'm already blocked by them. Technical artist and rigger, formerly Wildlight, and I'm blocked. Joshy Poo. Okay, that explains a lot. This Joshy Poo fellow wrote this article reflecting on shipping my first game, Highguard. And this went fairly viral because people were like, oh, we're getting some inside information of the people working on the game. And wouldn't you know it, of course, the first thing they do is blame you, the gamer, for negativity and the toxicity in the gaming community. Literally anyone else's fault but their own. Zero accountability as usual. And I knew that right off the bat as soon as people were sharing this with me. And I was like, oh, I went into it like I do with everything, with an open mind. Oh, we got someone at the studio wanting to talk about the game. First thing I see is I'm blocked by them. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. What did I do? What did I say about Wildlight Entertainment that got me blocked? What was so awful, so evil that I was blocked by? Strange. Reflecting on shipping my first game, Highguard. Apologies for the length. Been waiting to say a lot of this for a while. The day leading up to the Game Awards 2025 was amongst the most exciting of my life. After 2.5 years of passionately working on Highguard, we were ready to reveal it to the world. The future seemed bright. Everyone I knew who had any connection to the team or project had the same sentiments. This is lightning in a bottle. I trust this team wholeheartedly. If there's one project nobody in the industry is worried will fail, it's yours. Again, this is what toxic positivity sounds like. If this is the comments you're getting around your game before you even launch it, you need to get outside of your bubble. You are in your own world right now. You have no idea what the reality is. These are people just reinforcing your own thoughts on it. Not a healthy environment. This has mainstream hit written all over it. There's no way this will flop. I could play this game all day. The internal pre-reveal feedback, even from unbiased sources, X'd it out, was quite positive. And where it was negative, it was constructive and often actionable. People who played the game, including us, had a blast. And since we were an independent, self-published studio built with royalties in mind, many of us were hoping this could finally be the thing that broke the millennial financial curse. Oh, it's a communist. Gotcha. It's one of those. I'm going to guess, I don't know, but I'm going to guess from just that line that Orange Man bad, Elon terrible, the boomers ruin the world for us. If you're getting into gaming with that as your end goal, you're in the wrong line of work, bucko. I don't know if anyone haven't told you that yet or what, but don't be making video games with the expectation that you will make infinite money and break any kind of financial curses. This is the wrong place to be. As I talked to my boss when I was working in the game industry at Sony Online Entertainment, saying, why don't they pay us more? This is a lot of work. He responded when I was working at Quality Assurance at the time. He said, if you want to get paid more for quality assurance, go work at a bank. Everybody wants to work in the game industry so they can pay you less because there's more competition of people that want to be here. It's more fun to do this than to be crunching numbers with quality assurance. And I was like, good point. Fair. But then the trailer came out and it was all downhill from there. Content creators love to point out the bias in folks who give positive previews after being flown out for an event. But ignore the fact that when their negative leaning content gets 10 times the engagement of the positive, they've got just as much incentive to lean into a disingenuous direction, whether consciously or not. If this were actually true, that means that people would lean into every single game and be extremely negative about it. Don't you think if you could guarantee yourself 10 times the engagement just talking about games negatively, that's all you would do all the time? Strange. When I covered Expedition 33, I was extremely positive about it. Those videos did as well or better than videos that I did with negative sentiment. I think what this person is forgetting is The audience just wants honest reactions and honest information and feedback for your thoughts on the game. Unfortunately, I know you don't like to hear this because you're in the game industry right now, but unfortunately, the direction the game industry's gone tends to lean towards a heavy bias of, more often than not, games these days from outlets that are pushing an agenda or have intentions in mind tend to end up not being good games. It's like it's science. It's kind of how it works. The hate started immediately. Welcome to show business. First day, I'll be your host. Cheers. Show business is a lot of fun, isn't it? In addition to the dogpiling on the trailer, I personally came under fire due to my naivete on Twitter, which almost all of my now former coworkers had learned to avoid during their previous game launches, aka blue sky people. Gotcha. Came under fire for what? What did you say? I need context. What did people say to you? Who were these people? Were they no-name bot accounts created yesterday? Or were they actual content creators that were being critical? Context really matters with this kind of stuff. Saying the hate started immediately is meaningless. That doesn't do anything for me. After setting my Twitter account to private to protect my sanity, many content creators made videos and posts about me and my cowardice. I gotta be honest, this might sound bad. I don't even know who this guy is. If I'm making a video on someone doing that, it's because they did something to cause themselves to go private. And I'm focusing on the retarded things that they say and laughing at that, amassing millions of views and inadvertently sending hundreds of angry gamers into my replies. It's a public sphere. I never endorse any kind of attacks, aggression, threats, anything like that. Disavow, always. But if you're going to throw your opinion out there, be ready for people to give you negative feedback. As long as they're not going at you personally or trying to bring family into it and stuff like that, it's all on the table. Just if you want to have ideas challenged, have the ideas challenged. What you guys wanted was to present your game and just be loved by everyone and make infinite money. Set a sail on your new yacht that you buy and laugh at how you're so much better than everybody else. That's not how this works. That's never how this has worked. They laughed at me for being proud of the game. Told me, again, who told me to get out the McDonald's applications? Well, were they wrong? And mocked me for listing having autism in my bio. Not cool, but at the same time, you're on social media. And honestly, that would explain why he's having this reaction, most likely, is because he's having trouble handling the negative feedback, which they seem to think was evidence the game would be, quote, woke trash. All of this was very emotionally taxing. There is much constructive criticism that can be and has been said about Highguard's trailer, marketing, and launch, but I don't think it's my place to commentate on that. Wait, you worked at the studio. Why would you not say, yeah, I agree it was cool, or no, I wish they did something different? Just because you work on the dev team, you're not allowed to talk about that stuff? I also don't think there's any way to know whether the launch would have fared better or worse without the massive spotlight that was thrown onto us in response to the Game Awards trailer placement. But we never got that chance. So now you're blaming the Game Awards? Make up your mind. Is it the negativity in the game community, or is it because you got the spotlight at the Game Awards? Like I said, I have zero doubt in my mind. We will never know, but I have zero doubt in my mind that the Game Awards highlighting this game did nothing but at least give it more of an audience. It would survive or falter on its own merits. And the fact that it had the spotlight put on it showed that there was a lot of people that were very curious, a lot of looky-loos. You got nearly 100,000 concurrent players on launch day, blowing away any thoughts and expectations that I had going into it. I thought it was going to be 30 to 50,000 max, doubling almost my expectations. And it fell flat on its face, losing 97% of the audience in a week of the concurrent player count. You can't blame that on Jeff Keighley. You got the one thing people in the game industry that are working on these games tirelessly beg for: attention. People to give their time, their most valuable thing they have in their life, more than money, their time to your game. And they played it and left. That's on you. You need to be accountable for that and understand that even though you thought it was good and your internal bubble thought it was good. Reality was people didn't, by and large. There were some, of course, that like it, but that's not enough to sustain the game. Don't blame the hate of the community or the spotlight from Jeff Keighley on why people walked away from your game. It just wasn't that good. That's the reality. It's a really tough pill to swallow. We were turned into a joke from minute one, largely due to false assumptions about $1 million ad placement, which even prominent journos soon began to state as fact. Well, I mean, those are journos for you. What do you expect out of them? Within minutes, it was decided. The game was DOA, and creators now had free rage bait content for a month. I got to be honest. I am very in tune with what people are talking about on the game sphere and YouTube. And sure, here and there were some people that were just rage baiting it to rage bait it. But by and large, it was just most people were saying, hey, casual conversation. We'll see what happens with this. Some were saying I'm surprised. Some were saying I'm not surprised. And they were just going with it. They were giving their thoughts of people that played it on if they liked it or not. Other people were reading the reviews, talking about it. That's, again, if you are making a game in 2025, 2026, or whatever year it's coming out, the one thing that any developer would be begging for is for anyone to care. Good or bad doesn't matter. Just caring, because that's the first ignition that could spark a massive explosion of a great game. That didn't happen with Concord 2, better known as Highguard. Every one of our videos on social media got downvoted to hell. Okay. Comment sections were flooded with copy-paste meme phrases such as Concord 2, Titanfall 3 died for this. At launch, we received over 14,000 review bombs from users with less than an hour of playtime. Many didn't even finish the required tutorial. Okay. Again, free-to-play game. Just like you're welcome to put a game out into the free market, gamers are welcome to pick that game up for free and give their thoughts on it, whether it's 10 seconds into the game, 0 seconds into the game, or 200 hours into the game. And people can look at it and understand it. And I'd be honest, the people that were giving the initial impressions, I saw those, and many of them had legitimate complaints. Takes too long to get into the game. I'm having issues loading it. I'm getting booted from the game matches when I finally get into them. Not worth playing. I'm uninstalling. These were legitimate complaints. So don't say that their short time doesn't count. In discussions online about Highguard, Concord, 2XKO, and such, it is often pointed out by gamers that devs like to blame gamers for their failures, which is what you literally just did right here. And that's silly, as if gamers have no power, but they do, a lot of it. I'm not saying our failure is purely the fault of gamer culture. So this is Cope right now. All you've been doing is blaming gamers and Jeff Keighley the entire time. And then you just tie a bow on it saying, I'm not doing that. That's not how this works. It's purely the fault of gamer culture that the game would have thrived without negative discourse. But it absolutely played a role. All products are at the whims of the consumers, and the consumers put absurd amounts of effort into slandering Highguard, and it worked. Okay, not our problem. Again, gamers do not owe you shit. Make a good game, they will play it. Otherwise, hit the bricks, buddy. Go fill out your McDonald's application. No one owes you anything. That's like me saying I'm making YouTube videos. I'm not getting the views. It's the viewer's fault, not my fault. Like, hit the bricks, bro. Take some accountability. How can you reach the audience better? How can you connect better? How can you be more in tune with what people hear and your thoughts and what you're saying? How can you get to the nitty-gritty of details of things? How can you explain situations better? No. It's the viewer's fault. That's why the views go down. Accountability. Learn about this thing. It's very important. It will actually, if you learn how to be accountable, you will rest so easy at night because you won't be looking to blame other people. You'll take it in and you'll try to be better every day that passes. Many of Wildlight's former devs will now be forced to assimilate back into the actual corporate industry. Many gamers accuse Wildlight of being a part of. It was. I don't care if you're a different company. You're still a part of the game industry. Now, every time someone thinks about leaving the golden handcuffs behind in favor of making a new multiplayer game the indie way, they'll say, but remember how gamers didn't even give Wildlight a chance? No one owes you that. No one owes you a chance. You need to earn that. This is gross. Like, how can you talk like this? This is such extreme levels of cope that after all of it went down, you're still blaming other people instead of being accountable. Soon, if this pattern continues, all that will be left are corporations, at least in the multiplayer space. Innovation is on life support. Tell that to Sandfall Interactive with Expedition 33. Game of the year, ex-Ubisoft devs, ex-devs from other companies, all taking the risk to make a special game experience. What I see that happened wrong here is you guys might have thought you made an amazing game, but unfortunately, you went the live service route, and that is a very feast or famine road to go down in gaming. And when it doesn't work out, everyone loses. When it does work out, you do get your yacht and you live in the good life. But nobody owes you that yacht. You have to pursue, persevere, and break through all the negativity to prove that the gamers that were being negative about it were actually wrong. It has happened before. It did not happen here, which again goes to maybe you just need to understand your game just wasn't good enough. I don't think it's much deeper than that. Even if Highguard had a rocky launch, our independent, self-published, dev-led studio, where'd the money come from? They never want to talk about this. You had over 100 developers and marketers and other people working in the company, over 100 people. I would assume over $1 million per month in salaries to be paid out. Where'd that money come from? Who were your investors? You're saying you're an independent studio? Prove it. Who are the angel investors? Where'd the money? Do you just magically just pay people and promises? No. Full of passionate people just trying to make a fun game like every other fucking game studio ever made. What is that? With zero AI, I don't care. And zero corporate oversight. I don't care how the hot dog gets made, bro. Is it a good hot dog? Holy shit. Deserve better than this. We deserve the bare minimum. You deserve nothing. You don't deserve shit. You got a paycheck. You deserve of not having our downfall be gleefully manifested. Bro, you are the type of person that I am happy this happened to. This is your attitude? Fuck out of here. No one owes you anything. I wish the best of luck to the few who remain at Wildlight and hope Highguard can stay the course. It won't. I still believe in it. Sure as shit sounds like you are over it, by the way, and that this failed completely. And so do the fans we reached who continue to champion it on the subreddit, Discord, Twitch. So what you're saying is there are positive areas and positive feedback loops that you have. So what you're doing is just focusing on the people that are giving the other side of it. Gotcha. And even though this adventure has come to an abrupt and emotionally challenging close, I don't regret 1 second of it. Okay. So if you don't regret anything, what's the problem here? Also, I wanted to shout out some incredibly supportive journalists and creators. Oh God. Is this going to be like the list of people to avoid? Is this Kotaku Detected 2.0? Journos and creators who genuinely made a night and day difference in enduring the past 2 months. All of these folks deserve far more credit than they get their empathy, intuition, and integrity. All right, let's take a look. Frank Mirabella, I don't even know who that is. Khalif Adams, oh God, yep, know him. Snowbike Mike, Blessing JR, I don't know any of these people. Khalif Adams is the only one I've ever heard of, and yikes, bro. The image below was drawn by me for the Tech Art Team t-shirt. I plan on printing it for us soon. Some of the best times of my life were spent with these people. That's great. Some of the best times of my life were spent at Sony Online Entertainment. Congratulations, man. I'm happy that you enjoyed your time there. Savvy, Thank you for admitting toxic positivity is indeed a killer. The truth is, you guys were high on your own farts. People pooped on it because it was bad. It was generic. It looked like you outsourced everything to people who just buy assets. The people giving you positive encouragement lied. None of them bought skins, and nothing is stopping them from playing. Nothing is stopping every person who likes this tweet from playing and buying the in app purchases. But that isn't happening. So, yes, back to the mill with you because you need to be told what to do by another company churning for the investors, to which you will eventually be laid off for there as well again. You and cry, you can cry about negativity, but you'll never improve if you don't actually ask what happened. Banger. And you don't want to ask why it happened because then you might cry because God forbid someone tells you what was made is unappealing. If I put your mounts next to other mounts like Assassin's Creed Shadow ones, I cannot tell the difference which is for what game. I could tell you exactly where you went wrong, but I highly doubt you'd accept it. Wow. Wow. What a banger response by Savvy. Holy crap. And multiple other people, and even everyone I knew who had a connection to the team project had same sentiments. It's great. Everything's amazing. That's toxic positivity, rearing its head like always. If no one is able to critique things due to fear of being ostracized or attacked, you end up with something that is made in an echo chamber. You can't blame anyone but the game for its response, however. Arc Raiders proves the AAA to indie pipeline can work. Many other multiplayer games or just indie games in general do too. Schedule One, Repo, Stardew Valley, Mugenics, Escape from Duck Dispatch, Blueprints, Clair Obscur, The Alters. These are banger. Yes. Everything Supergiant Games has ever made. The list goes on. Unfortunately, Highguard just wasn't it. And again, I go back to the live service is feast or famine. And I would almost argue, and I could be wrong about this, I feel like it's kind of like almost a fad where it was really cool and there were some games that came and people clung to them and they're sticking to them now. And I'm sure there will be games that come in the future that will continue it on. But there's only so many gamers that the sponge can soak up. And once that sponge is full, you can't do another live service game and do the same thing with it. There's not enough people to support it. You can blame content creators all you want, but remember, it wasn't just what you would call grifters that made content saying your game was bad. It was everyone across the spectrum. So you need to ask yourself why that is. Also, woke trash? I never heard anyone call this game that at all. That's true. I never heard anyone. I'm sure there were, but this goes back to who was it? Who said that? Was it a no-name account that just says stuff to poison the well? Or was it actually someone with some sort of standing in the community that speaks for people saying that? I didn't see anyone saying that about this game. People were just saying it was boring, uninspired. Uninspired art design, maybe. But there's nothing woke here at all. I even gave you guys ideas on how to fix your game in my videos. I doubt you saw that, though, because, again, you're just saying things at this point. You're angry, I get that. But this entire post comes off as childish to me. Toxic positivity claims another one again. And it won't be the last time. Think on that. But let's be real. You'll probably block me because clearly you guys had zero criticism thrown your way if this is how you respond to real life playtests. Oh, well. And that's a really good point. I didn't really put two and two together on that, but I never interacted with this person and I'm blocked by them. And yet they're telling me that I'm the problem. Maybe you need to listen to people, sir. Am I out of touch? No, it's the gamers who are wrong. It's some special levels of cope. And I think this is kind of like almost like writing a eulogy for your game after it passes. And maybe this is how certain people deal with it. But I got to be honest, this is the perfect prototypical example of everything wrong with the game industry today. Is the attitude that this person has with this post. It's really unfortunate, but it directly tells you how completely out of touch they are with the community. And that's why they fail. But I'll leave that there. That's true. The woke word wasn't used much in criticizing the game. Yeah, no, I had people asking, is it woke? They had concerns like, oh, because Concord people. I had concerns that, oh, it might be, but no. When the game came out, I was like, no, that had nothing to do with it at all. Sometimes a game just fails because it's just not fun. It doesn't have to be not woke to fail. It can fail without being woke. I feel very vindicated because these developers cry. They say they deal with all this hate, this negativity, and all the toxic gaming culture. Bro, like you think that I don't get any of that? Like literally all day, air day, bro. Welcome to the club. This is the online social environment. It's it can be brutal, it can be rough. You can have crazy people trying to sue you over opinions. It's just welcome to this world. It's not for everyone. If I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. All day, air day. All day, air day.